For the best meat you have ever eaten in your life, go to samsbutchershop.com. Enter the coupon code Triple T when you check out for a 10% discount. Hello, everybody. Trailer Trash Tim. Thank you for joining me on this Monday. It's really nice. We got a nice break. It's not too cool, and we got a break in the rain. So I thought I'd just come back down in the woods and enjoy this weather where we've got while we have it. I got a couple of really important things to cover today. But before I do, I got to do a little bit of housekeeping. I made a short video the other day, a YouTube short, where I talked about this, but I want to cover it again because it's really important. I've apparently been hacked. Somebody has taken my profile and gone to I guess it's a social media site called Telegram, and they've been messaging different people as me, and I just want you to know, if you get a message from me or it says it's me, it is not me. If I interact with anybody, it's going to be here on YouTube. I'm also on Rumble, but I'm not interacting with anybody over there other than just posting videos. If you want to contact me, you can do that. You can do it here. You can do it via email. The links are down below. I'll respond if you in all likelihood, I'll respond if you email me, but I'm not going to initiate anything. I'm not out here trying to scam anybody or anything like that. So if you get something like that, please understand it is not me, okay? You need to know that. I don't know how they do that kind of stuff, but it's over my head. Technology has left me in that I probably should have been born in the 30s or 40s because I'm not adaptable to the technological age too well. Anyway, I'm showing my age, aren't I? So I wanted to cover that. Now, I want to get to a couple of stories, and I got to give a hat tip to my sister-in-law, Marina's sister, Benita, who sent this to me the other day. I've heard a little bit about this, but she sent me a couple of really valuable links. Incidentally, their father, Richard, my father-in-law, had his surgery on Friday. It went well, and he is in recovery now. So we're hopeful that his recovery is speedy and he gets back to full health very soon. And Marina can come on home because I'm ready for her, and I think she's ready to come home as well. So anyway, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. I would appreciate that. There is a man from Arizona by the name of Eli Crane. He is a congressman from, I believe, the Yuma area. He's a first-term Republican congressman, and this guy is sharp. I'm really impressed with him. He's voting pretty much the right ways from all that I've seen, except for a couple of blips on the record. But anyway, he opposed Kevin McCarthy. He was one of like 6 Republicans that would not support McCarthy under any circumstance. He's a former Navy SEAL. I think he's all around a pretty good guy. But he was talking to the press the other day, and he brought out the most fantastic point with regard to all of these frivolous lawsuits against Donald Trump, in which he basically told the press this. He said, "Do you know how I know there was no insurrection on January the 6th, as you all maintain?" Pretty much everybody in the media maintains that. They use the word all the time. And of course, all of Trump's opposition uses the word insurrection all the time. But Crane brought forth the most salient and obvious point. He said, "Do you know why I know there was no insurrection? And Donald Trump did not initiate an insurrection on January the 6th. He said, "I know that because in spite of all of the lawsuits that have been brought against him, all of these ridiculous charges brought against him, he has not been charged by anyone, anywhere. No prosecutor has charged him with insurrection." What a great point, and so simple, right? I mean, if it really was an insurrection, don't you think somebody might have charged him with insurrection? Which pretty much tells you all that you need to know. There was no insurrection on January the 6th, and everybody damn well knows it. It's just such ridiculous, trumped up, no pun intended, charges. They're desperate to do anything they can to keep Trump out of the White House. And they're lying. They're just a bunch of liars. There was no insurrection on January the 6th. And anybody with a brain between their ears knows that. So good on you, Representative Crane, for bringing out that very obvious point. Now, I want to get to the meat of this video today. This is what Benita had tipped me off to, and this comes as no surprise, but you need to hear this. Folks, please perk up and pay attention. Let this part of the video be more than just background noise. You need to hear what I'm about to say. This article appeared on a local website called kicks96.com in Ohio, and I'm just going to read this 2-paragraph report to you from the website. This is from Butler County, Ohio. There is an ominous warning from Butler County Sheriff Richard Jones, whose district includes College Corner and Oxford. Jones has just returned from a national sheriff's conference in Washington, D.C., and said that a terrorist attack on the United States is coming. Quote, "I want to tell you it's going to happen here," unquote, Jones warned. He cited the fact that record numbers of people of all nationalities are pouring across the country's southern border. Jones said that the FBI's director indicated Chinese hackers are prepared to wreak havoc on American infrastructure. Quote, "You're a fool if you don't listen to the chatter. The federal government says they're here and it's coming," unquote. Upon his return, Jones immediately equipped all his deputies with AR-15s and is expanding citizen patrols. There you have it. Now let me ask you a question, particularly those who are watching in the United States. Do you believe it is possible that in this year, we are in February now, we could possibly have a false flag event prior to the election or an actual terrorist event prior to the election? I would maintain the probabilities are extremely high. It just makes sense. It's an election year, right? If you heed the warning of Sheriff Jones, he just returned from Washington where he was debriefed along with so many other sheriffs in the United States where they were told these people are here, the Chinese nationals are here. This is why I rail so much on the terrible job that the occupant of the White House is doing on our southern border, and I have maintained it is by design. Folks, the bottom line is this. We're not talking about Guatemalan refugees coming across the Rio Grande River. We don't know who is invading our country. But we do know this, it's highly likely that some of the people that are invading our country are hostile towards us and hostile towards our nation. We are completely vulnerable. Our defenses are down. We're more concerned about what's happening in Ukraine or Israel or Syria or you name it than we are about securing our own border. These are sobering words that we all would do well to heed because of our vulnerabilities. Now, I want you to absorb this and think about this. Now, it is quite possible that something like this could happen, particularly, I maintain, in an election year, where it could possibly be to the Democrats' advantage, since at least in the executive branch and in the Senate, they are the majority, and they want to stay the majority. I don't know what could happen. It could be minimal, or it could be something that would boggle our minds, or it could be something of such a nature which would cause the occupant of the White House to remain in the White House. Anything's possible. These people are desperate to remain in power. Don't doubt that for 1 second. If they can't take Trump down through the judicial system, they've got plan B and they've got plan C, but they fully intend for him not to come back to the White House. And that would include, in my estimation, the possibility of having havoc wreaked on the American people, the very people that people like Biden are charged with protecting by securing our border. As I've said, this is by design. He's left the border open for a reason. And the reason should be obvious to you. So the bottom line is this. Is there a possibility there could be a false flag event before the election? I would maintain absolutely yes, there's a possibility. And I think the possibility is very high. Let's not be naive about this, folks. This could very well happen in the United States. It could happen in Western Europe. It could happen anywhere. I would say the possibilities are very high. We could have a false flag event or a terrorist attack in the United States. Sheriff Jones certainly believes it. He's heard it firsthand from the FBI. Make of that what you will, but I don't know why they would lie to him about something like this. The chatter is there. The signs are there. The Chinese nationals are here. And they are not friendly toward us. Make no mistake. So you need to chew on this a while and consider it and think about it and decide for yourself whether or not you think this is a possibility. Now, what I want to ask you is simply this. Are you prepared for what may be inevitable? Now look, I'm not a fearmongerer. I'm not trying to scare anybody. But folks, as Americans, and those of you that are outside of America, you need to heed this as well, because terrorism is not confined to our borders only. It's happened in Western Europe. It's happened other places, in Asia. You need to be prepared as you possibly can be. Now, what am I talking about? Well, what are the necessities of your life? What are the things that you have to have? Those are the things you need to be securing, and the sooner the better. You got to have food. You got to have water. You got to have a way to communicate with people. What happens in such an event? I don't know, but I think that the attack on our grid is highly likely, perhaps. It's certainly near the top of the list, if not at the top of the list. We are vulnerable, folks. What happens tomorrow if you wake up and your cell phone doesn't work anymore? What happens if you can't get on the internet anymore? What are you going to do? Have you thought about this? If not, it's time to think about it. Do you have cash? I was thinking about this a while ago before I started shooting. You know, I don't have any cash. I don't have any money. I don't have any money. And I bet you might be in the same boat as me. Now, I say I don't have any money other than what Marina may have stashed away in a safe inside the house or somewhere. But I'll tell you what I do have. I don't have money. You know what I do have? I got the same thing that most of you probably have. I've got digits. You know what I mean? I got digits. I can log on to an online bank account and I can look at my digits, but I can't really say I've got money. I do have digits, but I don't have a lot of cash. I got, what in my wallet? 80 bucks maybe? Whatever Marina may have in the house. I'll tell you what, if you think you've got a good amount of cash in the bank, try a little experiment sometime. Go down to the bank one day and say, I want all of my cash, and watch what happens. If it's a chunky amount of cash, they may tell you, well, you're going to have to come back later. We have digits. I've got digits in my checking account, my savings account, my credit union account, all the accounts we have. It's just digits. Think about that. Cash is king, and cash is something you need to have on hand. What are you going to do if the grid goes down? Do you have a way to get water? How much meat do you have in your freezer? What if you lose power? What are you going to do if you wake up tomorrow and the lights don't turn on? You paid your light bill, but the light's not coming on. What are you going to do for heat? What are you going to do for lights? Do you have lanterns? Do you have fuel for lanterns? Is this crazy talk? Oh no, it ain't crazy talk at all. This kind of thing can happen. Are you prepared? Look, I'm not selling you anything. I have nothing to sell you. But I'm telling you, we need to heed the warning of Sheriff Jones, and we need to prepare ourselves. What do you have for self-defense? Are you fully stocked? Do you follow me? What are you going to do tomorrow if nothing works? What are you going to eat? How are you going to heat your home? How are you going to communicate with people? These are the questions you need to be asking, ladies and gentlemen. Do you have enough food? Do you have food stored somewhere? Do you have the necessities of life stored somewhere? Do you have enough to eat? Do you have cash on hand? You might want to think about that. Do you have things you can barter with? Do you have booze? Do you have tobacco? Do you have gold coins? Do you have things? Do you have toilet paper? Do you have things a neighbor may want in a time of dire need? Again, this is not crazy talk. You know, we are not familiar, our generation is not familiar, by and large, with want so much. Need maybe, but not so much want. Our parents or grandparents knew what it was all about. You know, my father was raised in poverty on a farm. He knew what it was like to have to work with his hands just to get a meal. He worked hard all of his life. He got his, whatever wealth he had, he got it the honest way by being industrious. Hard times. He was raised in hard times. Hard times create good people. But we have a generation of Americans, and I'm among them, I'll be honest, that were raised in relative leisure, never in want. I never missed a meal growing up. I always had clothes on my back. I never missed a meal. I had shelter. I had warmth in the winter, cool in the summer. I had it good. I didn't realize how good I had it. And I've still got it good. I'm not rich. I'm not a pauper. But you know, I got money in the bank, food in the fridge, food in the freezer, place to live, transportation, a good job. What if I lost it all tomorrow? What if you lost all yours tomorrow? It's time to do some inventory, folks, and get yourself prepared for what hopefully will never happen, but could. Sheriff Jones certainly believes it could, and there's a whole lot of other sheriffs that went to this conference that heard the same thing. This is not idle talk. This is a very real possibility. We have very real enemies around the world and now in our country. We know that for a fact. These people hate us and they want America destroyed. It's as simple as that. We better be paying attention. That's all I can tell you. We had better be paying attention. Now, I hope this doesn't happen, but we have to be prepared, and it's as simple as that. Now, you can reference this article I found on the website kick96.com, and I hope you will familiarize yourself with the words of Sheriff Richard Jones of Butler County, Ohio. And I hope you will begin to make preparations for life after what may be. Let's all hope and pray it doesn't come to that. Let's all hope and pray we can ride this thing out until next January, when, hope to God, we can swear in Donald Trump again and Vice President Ramaswamy. But until then, we had better be on our toes and paying attention, paying close attention, watching out for our homes, our families, our neighbors, our loved ones. Do you have elderly parents? Are they vulnerable? It's time to wake up, folks, and take care of business. I need your comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about what I said today. Don't doubt this could happen. It could. Give me your comments down below. Please like this video. I would really urge you to share this video early and often with as many people as you can. Thank you very much for doing that. Subscribe to the Triple T channel if you have not yet. I would appreciate that very much, and let's get this word out to as many people as we possibly can. Go out there and have a tremendous Monday, everybody. This is Trailer Trash Tim. I'll see you soon.